Boom.
All right, guys.
Boom.
All right.
Boom, baby. Let's go. We're
Welcome
here.
back to the channel, getting you on the grind and improving your mind every single video and live stream that we do. So, guys, before we begin on today's topic, make sure you guys smash that like button, help us out,
Smash it.
and subscribe
Smash
to the channel if you've not already. Get that notification bell going so you can see our updates. And make sure if you want to donate to the channel and help and support us, you can donate to the Cash App link in the description below. So, without further ado, let's go in to today's topic, which is about chicken. So, we're going to be going in depth on a video by a YouTuber. I guess he was a chiropractor. Now he's a social media YouTuber, Dr. Berg. So we're going to look at the video and we're going to research into some of these points that he's giving out to give you guys a good idea of what he's talking about. And we can go in depth a little bit because I'm a big fan of chicken. I like chicken.
Yes, he
And
does.
we're going to discover the truth about chicken today. And so we're going to go in this video. He's going to talk about why you might not ever eat chicken again, which in turn might not me wanting to ever eat chicken again. And we're going to find out why. And we're going to do some live research with you guys to show you guys what we're talking about. So the first thing I want to say is make sure you're eating grass-fed, grass-finished, healthy meats and pasture-raised organic eggs. You want to be getting the best quality animal proteins and animal fats. Of course, that's something we talk about
All the time.
all the time. So let's go into details about some of these chickens, and let's hear what Dr. Berg has to say, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I have the link of this video in the description, so you ever want to watch it on your own time, you go for it. I have it in there for you. Let's take a watch.
You may never want to eat chicken again after you watch this video. 99.9% of all the chicken sold in the world comes from factory farms where they can grow a chicken within 42 days. That's less than 6 weeks. I mean, a full-grown chicken. Chicken is the most genetically manipulated animal protein that you can consume. You know, in the past, long ago, a chicken would take a good amount of time to grow. And that's a normal process. But now they've speeded it up by a factor of 65 times faster. So anytime you alter Mother Nature and you grow something that fast, there are some consequences.
So what are your thoughts on this, Mike, so far? Because I think that's not good at all.
Yeah, no.
65 times the rate of
Of a normal,
you know, let's
aging
debunk
chicken.
this, or let's see if this is true enough. So let's research right now on live whether this is true. So Mike is gonna help us. He's gonna do his thing.
Yeah,
we're gonna
so-
find out. We're gonna find out the bottom of this situation. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, and we're gonna see what he's talking about because we don't want to just take some guy's word for it. We want to do our own research. This is what you guys should do in your own spare time. You should be researching the information that you see, make sure that that's correct, and make sure you know what's going on. So this is us doing our own research live.
Okay, so let me fix the way that I spelled it. So let me see. So I'm reading here. You guys aren't going to be able to see it right at this moment. But it says many factory-grown chickens gain more than 50 grams in weight every day. However, their immune systems, organs, and legs cannot keep up, so they suffer a range of physical problems as a result. Meat chickens are still babies when they are slaughtered. And I think this is an article from, let's see, worldanimalprotection.org. 10 facts you should know about factory farm chickens.
How long does it take to raise it? Oh, okay.
Oops, sorry. I'm right now I'm in the thing here. So, between 1996 and 2016, demand for chicken meat grew almost 40% in Europe, in the European Union, 89% in China, 183% in India.
So if the demand goes up, that means these companies have to find a way to get these chickens to grow fast as possible.
A factory farm chicken lives an average of 42 days, and the wild chickens can live for several years. So yeah, that is around, I would say, possibly 60. I would say around 65, or it's a lot faster because chickens will grow and will live for several years, but farm chickens only live for 42 days. So that's pretty insane. And that's what he said, right? That was the day, or the 42 days right here.
Okay.
So this seems very factual, and this is from a World Animal Protection. This is from a .org, so this is from an organization. So this is not coming from Wikipedia. So I would think that this is pretty factual. The 65 times, I can't really do the math on that to actually know if that is and I'm not going to try to because that would just take me a lot of time, and my brain does not want to function at this moment to do that math. But it seems to be right around that because 42 days in comparison to years, seems to be around, I would say probably anywhere between 50 to 60 times the speed. So okay, so far seems pretty factual.
So far, this is not
And
good,
I'm
guys.
pretty
It's not
sure
good.
when they talking about when he talks about growing, he more means by weight. It's just, I feel like it's just meaning by like their uh how much they weigh, because like when a chicken weighs a certain amount, then they be able to kill it to then take the meat, because that's pretty much what
Yeah, it's
they
not good
use it
because this
for.
is like you're altering the natural evolution and the natural growing stages of animals, and that's not natural. And there has to be some kind of side effects to the body with that. And people always want the cheap, easy, fast chicken that's ready and made. And if you're going to buy the cheap stuff, just know there's going to come with consequences. So you always should be ready about
Exactly.
what you're consuming. Always be aware of what you're consuming and where you're getting the source from about what you're eating. It's always very important to realize this stuff. Most people don't even know the dangerous foods that they eat every single day, and it contributes to why they're so freaking weak and pathetic.
Exactly. Now let's continue on with what he's trying to say here.
Nutrition. I mean, if you take a cow, for example, you can't grow a cow in 6 weeks. It takes like 1 to 2 years. So I'm going to show you in a little bit a comparison between the nutrition in beef versus chicken.
Beef.
But it's so interesting to me that people are just really against red meat, and they think that white meat is better for some reason, maybe because it's leaner, because of the fat.
I think it's because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly I think they're mostly just coping in the fact that eating having to buy chicken is just a lot cheaper than it is to buy red meat, especially now. If you ever seen prices for steaks and shit, ooh, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough for guys like me, honestly. So it kind of sucks.
But that's actually completely false. Also, these poor chickens are raised in very inhumane environments. Tens of thousands of
Usually, yeah,
chickens in
a lot
one
of them,
room, and
especially
they're
Respect
factory,
called
yourself.
especially factory farms.
Yeah,
Like,
so that's why we really encourage you guys to try to buy your eggs and chicken that you buy and your beef and steak and all that. Try to get these foods from sources and companies that treat these animals well. That's what the argument that a lot of vegans go with. Well, you stop eating animal foods because these animals are treated badly. Yeah, but that's why we need to support more of the local farms and the local the safer companies that treat the animals well, and that when they kill them, at least they have them have a healthy life and they're not stressed out. So when the animal dies and the animal lived a good life, then you're going to get the
the
natural
the great
protein.
benefits
Yeah.
of that animal
That's
protein
why.
that
So
you should be getting.
support companies that support animals in a healthy way. Absolutely. But
Yeah,
most of these quick, cheap products and animals foods that you eat, they come from animals that were treated horribly during their
yeah,
lifespan. And then when
stuffed
they,
in coops and shit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And then they're
in
all
these
stressed
big
out
things.
and the hormones are whacked out. And then you eat that stuff and then it messes up your stuff too. It's just you got to understand where the food comes from that you consume
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
quality
You
of that
gotta
food.
and you gotta do research on like specific brands. I feel like the easiest thing that we can do as consumers is find out where our stuff comes from. Like if you go to your store right now and you go to the section with all the chicken and you go look at all the types of brands of the chicken. Like you'll have what are some brands I'm thinking off the top of my head. I know there's like Tyson, which like I'm pretty sure they make like shitty chicken
Tyson,
anyway.
Purdue.
There's
I mean, there's a
Purdue,
bunch of them.
Bell and Evans, I think does chicken. You could always just look up these brands and look up these farms and see like they because in their websites, pretty much they'll have websites and they'll have like explanations of like how they raise their chicken and stuff like that because they pretty much have to. Especially the ones that say that they that their chickens are like healthy and stuff like that.
Yeah, guys, make
They
sure you're
You
going
have to
after the
do
yeah.
your research and actually look up the farms and look up the brands
Make sure you're
and
getting
make sure
chicken
you're getting
that
the right ones.
exactly. Make sure you're getting chicken that says no antibiotics ever. Those keywords.
Yeah,
Make sure you get that challenge. You don't want the chickens to be fed all that crap.
yeah,
So
exactly. Let's continue.
Free range, right? But it's very private. It's not very transparent as far as what goes on. When they factory farm chickens, there's something called ammonia burn, which from all the waste that builds up, it can create ulcers on their corneas and it can affect their joints. So overall, very unhealthy environment. So I have a question. Maybe you heard of eating raw fish, right? Sushi. or maybe even a rare steak.
Mm.
But why don't people ever eat raw or rare chicken meat, right? You pull up to your fast food restaurant and ask for a chicken sandwich, but you want it on the rare side. That just doesn't happen. Why? Because of the risks of salmonella, campylobacter, or E. coli. These are pathogenic microbes. Why would these pathogens be in chicken, but yet you don't see them in other animal products? Well, it
Hmm.
has to do with the environment that these chickens are raised in. This is not a normal thing. In fact, these microbes even grow within our body and they don't harm us unless the environment changes and it becomes more stressful, and they can go from being neutral to pathogenic. So this is why when you buy a chicken from a grocery store and you're cutting up a raw chicken and you're using knives and you're using a cutting board and then you put it in the oven, right? You really have to sterilize the cutting board, your hands, the utensils that you use, the knife you use, or chances are there's a high chance you're going to have these microbes present, and then that can create a big time infection in you. But of course, everyone knows that you have to cook the heck out of chicken
Yeah.
to make sure you kill the pathogens. Second question, why do they have to flavor chicken meat? And I'm not talking about going to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Let's talk. So it's like a lot of the chickens, any like especially like fast food chicken. A lot of the chickens will say like natural flavorings. They'll add sugar to it, salt. They'll add all these. They'll add the MSG, all these
Oh
things
yeah,
to make the
terrible.
food more addicting. And they do it on purpose because just regular chicken bland, it's not going to be as enticing, and you're not going to be wanting to go out to dinner and get a nice chicken parmesan dinner without all the stuff that's added to it. So that's how they get you. That's how they get you to spend money on the chicken. If it's just plain chicken, like like grilled chicken and rice, you're not gonna be able to entertain the masses of morons that buy into this crap. So you have to flavor it artificially and all that kind of stuff, and that can do damage to the body in certain ways.
Yeah. When I used to eat, uh, I don't really eat chicken anymore. It's very rare because I usually either just have eggs or some sort of beef. Um, when I used to eat chicken, what I would do to what I would do to give it flavor is I would just uh add butter to it and avocado oil, and I would just give it
Mm,
like it.
right.
It's weird because because yeah, like you said, chicken's bland, and so you got to give it something to give it an extra taste. So I like me because especially when I was eating chicken, that's when I first started doing keto and stuff. So I just started adding butter and salt and avocado oil on top of it, and not only am I getting my extra fat that I would need for my diet and stuff, but it would honestly help enrich the chicken, the flavor of the chicken, and I didn't have to add all these like stupid flavoring things to make it not bland. And it's honestly that's just what I would do. A lot of these things that you would use to season aren't really that great for you anyway. But yeah, let's continue.
You go to a grocery store and you buy chicken breast in a package, they're raw. Look at the back of the label. Why do they add flavorings in the ingredients?
Hmm.
That is because if they don't, it's not going to taste like anything, right?
That's what we were saying.
Well, why is that?
Exactly.
Because of the way they're grown, how fast they're grown. They're grown so fast, the chicken doesn't have a chance to develop certain flavor chemicals.
See, that's kind
Third
of like
question.
that's what happens when you mess with nature. When you try to
Yeah.
speed up the process of nature, it's going to get you back in certain ways. Consequence to that, the chickens are not as healthy as they would if we would just leave them alone, let them grow naturally. But because we have a pretty big population in the world, and everybody wants to eat chicken, we have to have enough chicken. So we have to make them go faster to keep them get them going. That way, I mean, that way we can all get chicken. But to speed up the process means there might be consequences. So make
Yeah.
sure if you have to spend a little bit more money to get the higher quality chicken, then fine, do it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing it just sucks because we've we've grown as a population so quickly and so much, and the absolute necessity of people needing to eat, uh it kind of destroys the quality of the things that we eat nowadays, and especially now with the rise of fast food and stuff, it mitigates. Well, it doesn't really, but it kind of mitigates like having to buy rotisserie chickens and stuff like that. Like I would say, like as an example, because people will just go and eat that stuff. But then again, you're still having to eat chicken nuggets, which is also chicken, and so they still have to create more chicken, and it's all because the overconsumption of the human population now. Because now humans just they feel like they just need to be eating all the time every day when they don't really have to. They
Right.
we only need to eat when we're hungry. We don't need to be eating every hour of every day. It just doesn't make sense. And with all of that having to be said, that means that we have to pretty much create more food, and which then happens with all this, and not even just chickens, but also beef and all the lamb, pork, all
Be
that
aware of
stuff.
what you're eating.
Yeah, all the stuff. It's not even just chicken; it's all of them. But chicken, I feel like, is the worst off,
And
and
turkey.
turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chicken,
but it's all
turkey.
poultry anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the types of poultry, even duck.
Question. Why do they have to add colorings to the chicken meats? That's right. They have to give the chicken certain pigments to change the color to make it look like healthy chicken meat, or else it might look a bit gray, right? And you
Yikes.
wouldn't eat that. But I'm not kidding. They actually color chicken meat to make it look more appetizing. So unfortunately, they have this product that's grown in a very short period of time, very inexpensively. They have to flavor it, they have to color it, they have to make it look like chicken. But really, is it chicken? The real big problem with chicken, on top of that, is that chicken is very high in omega-6 fatty acids, especially compared to the omega-3 fatty acids, which makes it more inflammatory. Okay, very inflammatory. It's like 14 to 1.
Not good.
We need it to be 1 to 1. Okay, but it's 14 to 1. It's pretty high. And there's something else you need to know. There's rendered ingredients. In this definition of rendered, that means you're boiling it or you're doing something to separate out certain parts of this product. You might be boiling off the fat or separating certain particulates out of something. So in commercial chicken feeds, okay, there's rendering products. And one is called yellow grease. Yellow grease. Now, what is yellow grease? Well, it's used cooking oil. And it definitely sounds better than deep fried vegetable waste oil or waste
Let's actually
grease.
research that really quick. Let's discover what restaurants use as oil to cook their meat. So let's see what we can find, guys. Let's see. Because a lot of the times when you go to a restaurant and you get chicken or steak, you don't know exactly what they're cooking these meats in. It might be a very unhealthy seed oil that might be inflammating you, and that might not be good for your gut and your insulin levels and all kinds of stuff going on in your body. So let's find out. Oh,
Let's see.
well.
Let's see. It says okay. So hold on. From Dar Pro Solutions. Let's see. Four best oils for frying in a restaurant kitchen. And so
Oh no!
the first
Number
one,
one is vegetable oil. Oh
number
wait! Oh
one,
my god!
for frying overall vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil is one of the worst oils you can consume. Never consume that ever again. Make sure you tell your restaurant provider. Do not put my damn burger in the damn vegetable oil. Get that shit. Get that. Get that. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
The second one is peanut oil, which is terrible as well. Terrible.
F.
Three cheapest oil for high heat is corn oil. Terrible again. Very, very bad for you. Four is canola oil again. Very
canola.
bad. Very bad for you.
Can you fry with olive oil?
Can you fry with olive oil? Olive oil is one of the most popular oils for everyday home cooking, and it has a reputation as one of the healthiest ones around. Sadly, while you can't do better than olive oil for flavoring sauces and salad dressings, along with sauteing foods at lower temperatures, it falls short of the mark as an ideal choice for a frying oil. A smoke point of roughly 375 degrees Fahrenheit means it cannot handle the high temperatures required for deep frying. Tossing olive oil in your commercial deep fryer can quickly lead to a grease fire, resulting in a greasy mess at best, or even kitchen damage and injury. Additionally, olive oil's distinct flavor will seep into the food being cooked in it. In some cases, this could be desirable, but it narrows down olive oil's versatility. Olive oil is also far from being the most cost efficient frying oil. It has earned its place as a staple in home kitchens, but should be avoided for deep frying in restaurant kitchens. Honestly, if you're eating healthy and you want to use olive oil, you probably won't be deep frying anyway.
Yeah.
So that none of that really matters. deep frying really isn't a healthy way of eating.
So restaurants are using
But
bullshit oils.
yeah,
So that's not good.
yeah, they're very not good.
And
We do not recommend.
that's not good, guys. Not good. Be careful. Try to ask your if when you like get a burger at a restaurant, try to ask them if they can cook the meat, cook it dry, so no oil, and just make sure you just get the meat only, and see what they say. So this is
Yeah.
a bonus tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Healthy living with all gains.
Healthy living.
Recycle deep fried seed oils
Not good.
that have
Not
been
good.
fried probably for weeks or months,
Ugh.
Ooh.
and then they're going to recycle that back into the feed.
Oh
So
hell
not only
no.
is the chicken consumed,
Actually, that reminds me of something. We did a video a few months ago. If I get the chance, I'll probably try to put it in the description as well after the live, so anyone watching after the fact can look at it. But we did a video not long ago about this guy on TikTok, pretty much revealing that the company he worked for was feeding the pigs and stuff like trash and garbage and stuff like that in plastic. That's pretty much kind of like what he's explaining here. It's just terrible. And this is what companies are trying to do to feed animals cost efficiently to get them to grow to then, be used as meat later.
Yeah,
Like
these companies really care
it's
about your health.
honestly terrible because they don't care about your health. They only care about getting the money that they need to continue, working or to
Yeah.
continue operating. And it's so terrible because it's destroying the livestock, which is just then destroying the customers, and then those customers won't be around to then buy more, and it's just a terrible cycle.
consuming like things like soy and corn, very
Bad
high
soy.
in omega-6,
Not
but they
good.
also have this additional thing in the feed, unfortunately, because you can kill two birds. First of all, it's a hazard in landfills, right? So that way, why don't we just put it into the feed for animals, which we indirectly eat? So now you know why you can go to Costco and buy a chicken for $4. It's like $2 a pound.
There's a
I
reason
mean,
why it's
that
so
blows
cheap.
me away. Now, I personally have about 16 chickens. And what I'm talking about is completely different than
It's
those
livestock.
chickens, which eat bugs all day long and worms and things like that. And I feed them fermented grains, no soy, no corn, not GMO. It's organic feed. But the big point is, I know what it takes to buy the feed, a high quality feed to feed these chickens, and to be able to sell a full grown chicken for $4 with all the different people involved, the distributor, the store, the farmer. I mean, that is incredible. Someone could actually even make a profit on that. They probably don't make a profit. But the point is that to grow a healthy chicken, to grow healthy eggs, it does take high quality ingredients. It takes time, it takes money. But unfortunately, people demand the cheapest food possible.
You get what you
And
pay for.
And yeah, and when you want, because that you want things to be cheap, it's because the state of how everything is
The
right now.
economy is so
And
destroyed
it's
right
been
now in
that way
America
forever.
that yeah.
It's just been, people want things cheap so then they can, be able to save their money just in case if anything bad were to happen. I mean, like the world's going crazy right now, so it's getting really bad, and things, prices are going to skyrocket,
Things
which
are
they
not
are.
well.
And it's just the state of how we all live, like the state of how, the government and everything like that, how everything is, like prices just increase. You can't get the foods that you initially would have gotten a few months ago because
Yeah,
now
everybody's just
everything
angry.
went up like few dollars a pound, and so you have to try to get the cheapest things possible just so you can eat, like how you at least try to consume something so you can continue on throughout your day. And so people will not try to get the healthier stuff because they need to make sure that they save money. And so it's just a double edged sword right there.
Right.
It either you eat healthy or you save money. You can't do both.
of course, you get what you pay for. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next slide, low nutrition. So let's compare beef versus chicken. I'm not even really comparing grass-fed beef, okay, except right here. This is just conventional beef. If we compared grass-fed beef, which I will recommend a video at the end, it's a whole different picture. But if we compare, look at B12. We got 2.64 versus 0.3.
Ugh.
That's like comparing the RDA's 43% versus 5%. There's more zinc, okay? There's more iron,
Well,
there's
yeah.
more potassium, There's more choline, which is good for your liver. There's more folate. And take a look at this. The omega-6 to 3 ratio should be 1 to 1. It's 14 to 1, right? With beef, if you take grass-fed, it's 2 to 1. If you take grain,
It's 9 to
it's
1.
9 to 1.
Not
So
looking
you can
good
see
for
there's much
chicken.
less omega-6, the inflammatory oils, when you do grass-fed versus grains, because grains are very high in omega-6. Now, since we're on the topic of animal protein and a healthy protein source, you should really check out this video on some interesting research on beef. Check it out.
Well, we will eventually go to that video eventually in another possibly in another live stream if you
So,
guys
guys,
are
so
interested.
chicken is not what it seems to be. Chicken is actually a little bit more unhealthy than we originally thought. Unfortunately, you guys need to
Yeah.
be extremely mindful about what you're consuming every single day. So it turns out, I guess grass-fed beef is a lot better than chicken. Who would have thought? Which means probably better than turkey and maybe even bacon, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But you want to get the best quality stuff. That's what I know times are tough right now. I'm gonna but you guys got to find a way to try to at least minimize the damage and try to eat the healthiest foods possible that you can.
yeah,
You know?
I had my own assumptions that chicken would not be as healthy than something like the red meats and stuff like that. That includes like bison and all that type of stuff. I feel like I always knew, and so like that's why I had stopped eating chicken because I knew like it was very hard to for me at least like thinking about it as just a normal person. Sometimes it's very hard to really know if the chicken is going to be like super healthy. Now, when you look at certain like types of beef, you should at least as long as they're actually telling you the truth on their packaging, you know when this beef is actually healthy for you, grass fed, grass finished, pasture raised, organic, stuff like that. You'll know because it's on the packaging. You do the research on the farms. They're very they're very about their mission on making healthy meat, and so like sometimes with chicken you don't always know. Sometimes you believe that if that a farm is saying, oh, they're doing all these great things, but then how they package their chicken is not that great for you, and it can contaminate the meat and stuff like that. I've seen that. I don't remember the brand specifically, but that I've seen that actually be a thing. So you need to be careful on that if you actually get chicken. But there's I've always had my pre notions that that would be the case, and so I stopped eating chicken. But now adding all this extra information, I'm definitely like, yeah, either if I want to have chicken, I have to like really research. I'm gonna have to really look into these farms, really try to make sure that I'm getting the right things because I don't want to screw myself over nutritionally by getting the wrong chicken.
Yeah, guys. So please be mindful about what's going on in the world, and the foods that you're consuming is very important. Chicken is not what it seems. We need to be very, we want to support the good companies out there that really treat these animals well. Absolutely. Make sure same thing goes for eggs. Make sure you can pasture raise organic. You want to get the chickens that had a healthy life, that were treated well, not locked up in a cage and all that kind of, and getting fed all these crappy oh god, what do you
Grains
call it?
and
Yeah,
soy
grains
and
and soy
shit.
and all that by all these companies that really don't care about your health. They're just trying to make a buck and trying to go home to their families. So just be very careful. So guys, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments about this topic, make sure you leave it in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. Are you guys not going to eat chicken again, or are you going to keep going and be a fool? Are you going to switch over to grass-fed beef? Definitely let us know. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You've done it to the Cash App. It helps us out a lot. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say if you guys want us to talk to go through that video that he brought up at the end about beef, definitely let us know in the comments and we will react to that as well and go over that just like we did with this chicken here. So if you guys want us to do that, definitely let us know.
Right, guys. So without that said, we're gonna see you guys in the next video or live stream.